I just think like no one saw the pandemic coming, right? I mean, but the people that they took it on the chin, they were like, okay, this is happening. Now what can we do? Like Amazon shot up billions and billions of dollars. Jeff Bezos became the richest man during that time. I mean, I think Elon Musk took over, and now I think it's someone else.
I think if he wouldn't have got divorced, he'd still be the richest
Yeah,
guy.
I think so.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know all that, and it doesn't matter. He's got more money than he needs, but
Exactly.
That was part of it, right? That's what just threw it in.
I mean, because he had a product and service. I mean, more of a service. Amazon doesn't really sell their own stuff, but a product and a service, and right place, right time, and he took advantage of it. And I think that with all this stuff going on, I mean, banks collapsing, there's talks of the government they're gonna pump in more money.
Digital currency.
Yeah, I mean, all sorts of stuff that's going on. Control what you can control, and there's always going to be opportunity to provide a service to people. The rich people I feel like they don't even worry about this stuff. Rich people, they operate differently. Their mindset is different. They see things as opportunity instead of, oh, well, now I'm screwed. You know, like they see how can I make money from this instead of, oh, well, now I'm just going to sit at home depressed, which I think it's better to have the other mindset. So I think that when there's all this turmoil, all this stuff, figure out, okay, well, what can I do? Can I start a side hustle to make a little more money? If inflation's out of control, instead of me just watching 4 hours of Netflix every night, how can I combat that a little bit? Start a business maybe, or do something to make a little bit more money on the side. If your job isn't giving you a raise with the 8% inflation or whatever, you know, like figure out a way. Don't rely on other people to pull you out of the mud or whatever. Figure out a way to do it yourself. I think that's at least what my mindset's always been, is how can I provide for myself where I don't have to rely on other people, because I think that's the best way to go about it. And I think that's what more and more people are going to have to do during the next couple of years when things are maybe even more crazy.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because there's a couple things when you were saying that I've thought about here, and maybe if you've been watching this, I'm a God-fearing person. I believe there's a God, and I believe we all have a destiny, right? And it's a source that we can plug into, right? And I think I point that out not from a religious standpoint, but there's an interesting thing that if you are thinking outside of yourself, right? Yeah. So I think if you're worried about things, when people are worrying, it's always about them. Yeah. Right? It's a oh my gosh, I'm worried. I don't know what. I've been there before, right? Yeah. So I know I'm not speaking like, oh, what are these people all worried about? I've been there. I've worried, and it's all of a sudden it's like, okay, there's people counting on you, right? That are. I'm a person. I really don't care what people think about me for the most part. Yeah. But if it starts to hit home, yeah. and I'm like, am I living true to myself? Am I being honorable to my God and to my family and the people that are counting on me, right? Because I've stood up for certain things, right? Yeah. And as soon as I can make that shift, if I'm going to like, oh my gosh, I'm worried, right? Well, what are you worried about? You're worried about your own self imploding on a stage of life, or what everything's going to be.
Trying to keep up an image, even.
Yes,
different
exactly.
Stuff like that.
It's subtle, right? Because you're like, no, these are real problems, right? These are the issues at hand, right? What you can't put your head in the sand. I'm like, I got my head in the sand. I'm thinking outside of myself, right? So I say that about God because all the people that I've ever known that have lived that way, and I'm not saying a monk or somebody, even though they may have a lot of that beat as well, because they're not worried, they're trying to serve other people, but I'm saying a businessman, a person that's a leader in the community is saying, okay, how do I help protect these other people? Yeah. I have friends that are worried they're going to lose their job, and it's a really good paying job. Yeah. And I will sometimes like find myself empathizing, like, yeah, how the hell would they ever replace that job? I mean, they're 50 years old. I mean, are they going to get that salary somewhere else? I'm like, okay, we're unemployed every day. Yeah. Every single day I get up, I have been unemployed, literally. And if you don't see it that way, then you're just tricking yourself, right? So I'm unemployed every day. It's been that way through the good and the bad. And I would have to say that when things do get a little tight, if I'm thinking outside of myself, and I mean my clients too, right? So, okay, if everything's going to crash, nothing's going to sell. There might be a lot more stuff selling. And so how do I help my clients get maybe the most out of it? How can I look at that property, reposition it, and say, hey, you know what? This has always been office, but we can convert this back portion to have some roll-up doors and, whatever, right? I mean, without getting so specific, the point is being creative and doing it. And I think that's what we need to be hearing.
Thanks for watching that clip from the Justin Johnston Show. If you enjoyed that, then go ahead and click right here to watch the full episode. If you just want to watch more clips, then go ahead and check out this playlist right here, and we'll see you guys in the next one.